So the devs did a maintenance update last night, fixing some of the bugs in the game. The servers were down for 3 hours, and good news, there was no extensions. But did they fix the bugs that were plaguing the community? Let's find out.
Piece of crap wristwatch.
So the Division 2 devs released a patch last night, Tuesday, July 9th, and the servers went down for 3 hours as they fixed things like missing weapon sound, Keener's watch access on older characters, crafting station roles issues, and minor UI improvements. And that's good news because the second part of the manhunt for Keener has unlocked today, and you got 1 week and 14 hours left to complete it. This one's called Hercules. And you also get some boosted XP during this period. And that's all they gave us as far as what was being fixed, which isn't really much. We're 28 days in the season and basically a month, and we've yet to have a smooth sailing season 1 for year 6. We're in title update 21, and we've already received the official patch, title update 21.1. So this was just a maintenance patch, and they usually don't provide patch notes for the quick maintenance patches they do on Tuesdays. So it's not unusual to not get a ton of details, but because the game is in such a bad state, this really isn't helping the cause. And when it comes to communication from the devs, all we have received is a big fat nothing burger, and it's really upsetting the community. So let's go over to Twitter to see what people are saying. So this patch was a 9 GB update. Did anybody else notice that? That's quite large for a quick little maintenance. Can also confirm, at least for my instance, that those god rolls coming from the crafting bench, yeah, they're fixed. Well, again, this is the second time they've fixed it, ahead of other major plaguing bugs. As far as the sound goes, it seems as though the sound is working on weapons. Now, I only tested 2 weapons, my M1A Classic as well as the Nemesis. 2 weapons I knew were affected, and they do have sound. So yesterday, July 8th, the devs put out this post letting us know this maintenance was incoming. And it's always really interesting to read the replies from the community anytime the Division puts up a post on Twitter, because it seems to be overwhelmingly negative, or if it's not negative, then it's confused. Those are the 2 types of reactions you get from the community. Never really anything positive. We're gonna come back to why that is, but either way, that's what you're gonna notice when you read through the community's comments. Wesam 2200 says control points still resets after logout. Nothing has changed, which is one of the major issues in the game. So the sound was up there, but this is right there next to it. This has to be fixed. How many of you are still being affected by the control points not resetting? Comment down below. The Division responded and they said the fix for control points is planned for title update 21.2. And then they point us to the Trello board. And so at least they're aware of the issue. And that's part of what causes the confusion. The community sees these updates and expects problems to be fixed, but because the developers don't give us any sort of information, they don't give us public announcements, they don't let us know that, hey, we're aware of these issues and we're working on them, we get comments like this. How many of you stopped going to the Trello board because it's just not being updated on a regular basis, at least weekly? So we know we're gonna get title update 21.2, but because we don't have any sort of estimated time on when we are gonna receive that, it's not a satisfactory response to say, hey, we have this planned for an upcoming update. Because we're a month into the seasons are 4 months long, so we're 25% through this season and we're still facing the same issues. I think this was a day 1 issue. So I feel Wasam's frustration. Now this guy, which I think his name says Quarantine, he's stating that the crafting station bug is still not fixed. Let me know if that's the case for you. He's mentioning the upgrade issue, but I think there might be some confusion around this. I think you have to be level 40 in order to upgrade your bench. We're talking about new characters here. So I myself have a new character and I'm stuck at the premium bench. And so I can't get the high end until I reach level 40. I think that is just the new way. Either way, it hasn't been clarified by the devs. They didn't respond to this one, but those god rolls that you were able to craft, they definitely fixed that. I did check on my new character and I'm no longer able to craft god rolls. Let me know if any of you are still able to craft god rolls or have figured out this crafting bench. I really want to know, I've been asking this for weeks, if anybody was able to upgrade their bench to high end before they got their mule or new character to level 40. Either way, let me know if you couldn't do it until level 40, or let me know if you were able to do it before you got to level 40. Advent Fire has a really good statement here. grumpy old gamer. He says, okay, we have a 9 gigabyte updates of absolutely no fixes at all. Well, there were some fixes, but I get his point. There's still no timetable on the next title update. I 100% agree. We just talked about that. That is a major issue. And the player base is even more pissed off than before, probably. The lesson learned here is don't buy UB games. Do you think the devs should give us a timeline on the next title update? Would it be reasonable for them to say that it's going to be next week or within the next couple of weeks? Or would an estimated time frame be satisfactory for the community? Or do we need a hard date at this stage because we're 25% of the way through the season? Okay, Soccer Dad has a funny one. There's some bad words I'm gonna have to edit out here. But for the love of God, just take out the effing rock and roll because it is useless, still not fixed. Been way over a couple of months now. I'm done using it, even after I have it maxed out. This game, and I leave it at that. So I didn't check my rock and roll today, but I assume it's still in a busted state. So if you don't know what we're talking about, instead of getting 30 rounds, you're only getting 20. You lose 10 rounds by reloading. It's a big issue. And there's also the reload bug that's been plaguing the game for, I guess, going on 2 seasons now. Is that issue still in the game after this patch? So what we're talking about is chambering a round. If you put one in and then you switch weapons and you come back, that round is gone. And some weapons, you can't even chamber that round. Gustav sort of wraps it up for us here. So he's saying call for backup, not working. I think that's a big deal. How many of you can't call for backup right now? And that's got to be frustrating for especially those open world activities or in the middle of a mission when you feel like you need help. That's a big deal for new players, and we have a lot of those. So please let me know if that's not working for you. And of course, he calls out control points still reset, invaded missions still reset. That's frustrating. I think you can work around that though. I think you can go into an invaded mission and set it to a regular mission still, but I'm guessing the problem is if you're trying to complete the invaded mission in several different sessions, when you log out and log back in, they're all reset again. So you have to play them all through in a single session, or you're just never gonna get to the end. That's got to be frustrating if that is the case. Does that sound right to you? Is that what you're experiencing? Please let us know. Then it says clan effort still not counted. So what Gustav is calling out here is that we have clan XP that gives us extra caches and stuff like that, and that's not in effect. Matchmaking still broken. Now Gustav didn't specify what and where matchmaking is broken. I've heard rumors that the summit is not letting you matchmake. Has anybody been into the summit lately? And if so, are you experiencing matchmaking issues over there? And then Gustav wraps it up. Man, this game is broken. So let's have a look at the known issues board. So this is as of this morning. So let's go through it. As far as investigating, they're saying that loadouts has a visual bug causing agents' loadouts not to appear when inspected. I think that's been fixed, but it's under investigating. So maybe for some people, it's still broken. Is that you? Exclamation mark in the apparel menu, constantly present. That's been around forever. This drag-off headgear is missing from the drag-off bundle. That's been around forever too. So in progress, we have the Dark Hours raid leaderboard for completion time shows the top clan from the Iron Horse raid. Okay, I don't know how that happened. End game, so control points and invaded missions reset on every login. So there it is. They are aware of that issue. Clan XP is not being awarded. They're aware of that issue. The agent sprint, stopping, and cover-to-cover animations skip a few frames, making it feel abrupt, okay? When Palisade Steelworks is selected as target loot, named items that drop alongside it also have the Palisade Steelworks icon in the loot pillar. That's been going on forever. The reanimated GE deals corrosive damage to friendly NPCs. That's been going on for a couple of seasons now. Equipping the Rowan uniform may cause clipping issues. So is it annoying to you to see a lot of vanity bugs on this known issue board when we know we have bigger bugs like reloading, like invaded, like weapons that aren't working properly? Fix ready. Broads and talent can be active with another talent on the same equipped shotgun. No, I never experienced this bug, but the bug that I did experience is that the Brazen talent, at least the perfect one, isn't being executed consistently. So sometimes you're getting the damage and sometimes you're not. I tested it for an hour to try to figure out the pattern. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. But are others having Brazen damage consistency issues? Let me know. But I hope that issue is fixed because it's a really good talent for our shotguns, but disappointing if it doesn't work. And from my experience, I was seeing that I wasn't getting the damage for entire periods. I'd have to almost reset the build by taking the talent off and putting it back on to get it to work again. And it would only work for a short period of time and then eventually disappear. And that makes it difficult for players to detect whether they're getting the damage buff or not, because it suddenly disappears in the middle of gameplay. Keep an eye on your Brazen talent buff and the little icons that show up to ensure you're getting the damage that you expect. It says here that under Fix Ready, also the Dark Zone marked as invaded maintains the same gameplay status as the other non-invaded Dark Zones for players below level 40. Fix Live, crafting station remains stuck on superior gear quality at level 40 and can't be upgraded to high-end gear quality. So they're saying that's fixed. Players are unable to access Keener's watch on older characters. Wasn't aware that was an issue. Audio, sound effects when using any LMG weapon, it was obviously beyond that. Audio, the first bullet fired from an LMG triggers continuous audio playback on all weapons. XP gains for specific activities have decreased significantly. Okay, that was live. So this is what I think, and let me know if you agree or disagree. One of the major issues in the game right now isn't really the bugs. So we have bugs. That's unfortunate, but it's the status and being left in the dark. That's the real issue that's plaguing the community and causing all of the disappointment. So hear me out. I feel like a lot of this can be handled, or the frustration can be contained, if the developers just put out a simple statement saying something like, we are aware that there's bugs in the game, we are working on them, hopefully we capture all the bugs that are plaguing you. As soon as we have a timeline available on when this fix will go live, we will let you know, but rest assured we are working hard on our end to get this game running smoothly. The end. I think that would help handle a lot of concerns, because right now the biggest problem is, are the developers even aware of the bugs that are plaguing us? Because if you look at this Trello known issues board, you would assume not. If this is the form of communication we are to rely on, and we were to take this for gospel, then it would be safe to say that they're not aware of 99% of the bugs that are plaguing the community, because there's so much that is not in here. I'm telling you, the bugs are far and wide in the game right now. I haven't even mentioned the ones that I've heard are plaguing the DZ, Liberty Island, the Ravenous, Exotic Rifle, so on and so forth. There's a lot of bugs. It's everywhere in the game. Are the devs aware? We just don't know. And it took basically 2 weeks just to get this maintenance alert. The last communication we got from the devs was the last maintenance alert, which was title update 21.1. Was that a week or two ago? I can't quite remember, but we've received a big fat Division 2 nothing burger until now. And all we got was another maintenance alert, which I can hardly label as communication to the community. These periodic notifications, because they're written in such a routine way, do not satisfy the community's hunger for communication. And if you dig into the posts, you do see 1 or 2 comments from the devs on a more specific issue, but there's usually not a lot entailed, not a lot of detail there. Something like, oh, we're working on it. At least there's that. So why do you think they're so resistant on putting out more communication? I'd love to hear your thoughts here.
Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
This was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.